Hi everyone, a very good evening to all of you. Welcome to this session. Sorry I got late. There were protocols regarding the mock drill going on at my location. So that's the reason I got late. Please let me know if you're able to see me properly and hear me properly. Are we good to go? Um, okay. So welcome to the session. Those who are watching me for the first time, I'm Niharika John Mehra, your Faculty of English on CGB Mentors. Okay. Um, 8 p.m. Monday to Saturday, we are having this editorial session, and here हम सब कुछ cover कर रहे हैं. It's a power-packed session where we are covering skimming practice, vocabulary, then we have grammar, we have some MCQ. So a lot for you all is covered over here. Okay, so this is the first thing. Now, here is another article, today's article that you have from the Hindu newspaper. This is one editorial. We will start with skimming. Before that, I do have other courses under our एग्जाम स्पेसिफिक कोर्सेज ऑन अ प्लेटफॉर्म, तो आप लोग डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स जरूर चेक करना. एंड 1:30 p.m. on this channel I'm giving classes for EPFO Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, so please check that out as well. So we'll start with skimming. Skimming may you have to make sure you are utilizing the time and not going into the details, but having a cursory look at the content and try to capture the sense of it. आपको एक एक वर्ड टू वर्ड नहीं पढ़ना है. यू डोंट हैव टू ट्रांसलेट इन योर मदर टंग. यू डोंट हैव टू मेमोराइज करने के लिए कैसे पढ़ते हैं हम उतना ध्यान से नहीं पढ़ना है यहाँ पे. यू कैन स्किप सम नंबर्स, सम लॉन्ग नेम्स, दैट्स टोटली ओके. मेन मैसेज आपके पास क्या आ रहा है आफ्टर रीडिंग, दैट इज व्हाट जो मैटर करता है. तो आई गिव यू अ टाइमर ऑफ 2.5 minutes. ऐसा भी नहीं है कि बस कुछ कुछ शब्द पढ़ लिए पर समझ में कुछ नहीं आया. इट शुड नॉट इवन बी लाइक दैट. ओके, सो प्लीज स्टार्ट रीडिंग. दिस इज द एडिटोरियल. एंड यस, लाइक और शेयर कर दो फटाफट सेशन को बिफोर यू गो अहेड. Once you are done reading in 1 or 2 lines, let me know here what is the takeaway of this or from this passage from this article. What you have understand is the main theme of the article. Okay, time up. So I'll explain this article to you. By that time, please make sure you are writing something here so that you get into the habit of putting things in a summarized form. At least a part of things वो आपके में skill develop होना चाहिए. So persuasion strategy on the civil defense preparedness drills. Okay, this is the drill we all know about and it took place today. So persuasion strategy on the defense की civil defense preparedness drills के बारे में Pakistan must hand over designated terrorists to India. Drills are happening here in India and author is now also talking about Pakistan को कुछ करना चाहिए. So how he is correlating these two things, it's interesting to see this. For the first time in 50 years, India has been told that it is on the threshold of a full-scale war. Okay, being on a threshold of something means you are very near to something, or supposedly you are near to something. The drills seek to bring that war into the people's consciousness, not as a media event, but as a way of preparing them for what could unfold in their lives. Little bit scary tone at this point, but the drills are meant to put this thought into people's mind, in the consciousness. It is not just a propaganda event, a media event, but a way of preparing the people and putting certain things in the consciousness if and when required, what they need to do. Civil defense preparedness is a key element of war strategy. तो एक वॉर स्ट्रैटेजी का की एलिमेंट होता है ऑफ कोर्स सिविल डिफेंस कैसे रेडी करा जाए लोगों को. These drills will help to take stock of how common people, those responsible for key civil assets and trained personnel, how all these key people will interact and act in a war-like situation. Now, defense preparedness is another matter altogether. Civil defense preparedness is one thing and defense preparedness is another matter altogether. The government led by PM has not balked at national war-like mobilization. Balk means to hesitate, okay? हिचकिचाना, मना कर देना. So PM has not hesitated at national war-like mobilization, from demonetization through Swachh Bharat to the lights off during COVID-19. These are all the highlights of the past that also tested electric grid resilience. इससे हमको electric grid resilience का भी पता चला. There have been many projects that have sought to tell the people, projects के through people को पता चला that they have been in mission mode. Okay, so people have been on that on that verge or in the mindset that it's a mission mode. You are told to do something and you do that thing. Grid resilience is once again being tested by drills through blackouts. Blackouts अभी जो यहाँ पे हुआ जिसकी वजह से हमारी क्लास लेट शुरू हुई. So this is the type of drill that will help us understand कि हमारी इलेक्ट्रिक ग्रिड कितनी फ्लेक्सिबल है, कितनी स्ट्रांग है, कहाँ काम कर रही, कहाँ नहीं काम कर रही. Wars and war-like simulation. Simulation किसी चीज का एक sort of mock test जैसा होता है. It can serve to bring up consciousness and produce more social cohesiveness. Social cohesiveness means society coming together and a focus on common larger goals. So wars, the actual ones, and war-like simulations. The mock-up of the whole war-like situation. अगर होती तो कैसा होगा? They can prepare the people for hardships without losing morale. हिम्मत को बिना हारे लोगों को तैयार करने में मदद करेगा. The other side is of course destruction. Now war का दूसरा side है destruction in the eyes of many, including possibly the government, even the government, and of course eyes of many. Pahalgam was India's 9/11. Pahalgam attack was हमारा 9/11. That scale, that intensity, if not in its scale, but in the response. So of course, not that many people died as of in 9/11, but then it was of the same intensity with respect to response from people. This view holds that Pakistan is the Afghanistan of 2001. इसको अगर समझें, so in this context, Pakistan is just like Afghanistan was in 2011, a nation coming apart with only religious zealots holding it together using terror as the only statecraft. At that time, Afghanistan was a nation जो कि अपने आप में बिखर रहा है, it's coming apart with only religious zealots. Now, zealots are those extremists, they would go to any land to do anything. उन्हें zealots बोला जाता है. Religious अगर doctrine है उनकी, so they are religious zealots holding it together. How these zealots are trying to hold the nation together by using wrong means, that is terror. George W. Bush's "I Hear You" in the rubble of the World Trade Center was followed by a blitzkrieg that sought to bomb the nation into the Stone Age. Okay, so एक rapid attack होता है जिसे blitzkrieg बोला जाता है. So we can see that his statement "I hear you" in the rubble of the World Trade Center, this "I hear you" thing was followed by multiple attacks that sought to bomb the nation into the Stone Age. मतलब इतना कि बहुत सालों पीछे चला जाए कोई भी देश. The US had zero risk of retaliation then. उस समय retaliation का कोई risk नहीं था. PM Modi's promise to pursue terrorists to the end of the earth comes with the risk of furious retaliation. With the case of 9/11, US के पास retaliate वाला option नहीं था. US knew that Afghanistan won't retaliate. But here we see कि PM's promise to pursue terrorists to the end of the earth, कहीं से भी पकड़ के लाएंगे, comes with the risk of furious retaliation if the pursuit means full-fledged war. If pursuit of catching terrorists का meaning है full-fledged war, then we can expect retaliation as well. While testing civil defense preparedness is one thing, it is one angle कि लोग कितने ready हैं. A real war is highly dangerous escalation. Actual war is something very different. It's dangerous, it's harmful, that will do little good to the narrative of India. It will not do any good. Little good actually is a way, little ka use without an article is a polite way to say no. So it will do no good, it will do little good to the narrative of India being an economic powerhouse ready to take its place in a multipolar world as a true and responsible leader. So India is on its way to make a position, to make a place for itself as a responsible leader, as a true leader. Okay, India is being an economic powerhouse already. But if this is the story, and while this is how the picture is as of now, something like a real war takes place, it's not gonna be in our favor, it's not gonna help India, ऐसा author बोल रहा है. The government must keep its option open so that Pakistan may be persuaded to walk back from the brink by agreeing to hand over terror leaders. So the government must make sure diplomatically somehow this happens, that Pakistan को मजबूर कर दें, that it gives up, it hands over terror leaders of LET, JM and fringe outfits. अगर अच्छे से दे दे वो बहुत अच्छा है. India's non-muscular response, non-muscular, to 26/11 brought much shame to Pakistan, and Pakistani media willingly brought more shame to its government by turning its focus on Ajmal Kasab's village and family. So earlier also this has happened, that जो पहले का response था when India was not hostile, that was something that brought a lot of shame to Pakistan, in fact Pakistani media as well. Perhaps the civil defense preparedness drills will serve as PSYOPs. Okay, PSYOPs psychological ops का short form है. It is mind game. So you put something in the mind of someone to try to manipulate them, make them think what is not there. So possibly author is saying perhaps the preparedness drills will serve as a PSYOPs, signaling India's intent that could make Pakistan see the folly of using terror as a tactic in geopolitical disputes. So this is maybe just to show Pakistan that we are all prepared, even our civilians and the civil preparedness को देख के these people may not go for war, actual war, but they understand that there is no point of starting an actual war, but only to hand over the terror leaders. Okay, so they can see the folly of using terror because we won't be terrorized. This is the part of the drill. That's what the drill portrays in front of all the nations of the world. So author इस बात को यहाँ पे बता रहा है. Okay, चलो, I hope you understood. Interesting article. Let's do some vocabulary and फिर हम grammar वाला करेंगे. Buck as a verb is used जिसे हम बोलते हैं इनकार करना. To refuse, to recoil, हिचकिचाना, जो बोल दिया उससे वापस चले जाना. Grid resilience is power stability. Power मतलब इलेक्ट्रिक पावर वाला, विद्युत वाला, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी वाला. नेटवर्क ड्यूरेबिलिटी, कब तक हम चला सकते जो हमारे पास है. Psyops, psychological ops, psychological warfare, mind games, not the actual thing happening, but planting something in the mind of enemy so that they think what we want them to think. Manovaigyanic raniti. Interesting, huh? Never thought that this would be a vocabulary I would ever teach, but yeah. Fringe outfits, these are the groups which are radical. Extremist logo ke groups hain. These are the factions. They don't want peace to be the means to resolve things. They want to get hostile. Blitzkrieg is तीव्र और भारी हमला. ओके, लाइटनिंग वॉर मतलब वहाँ पे धमाके वाला जो वॉर है वो वाला, उस तरीके का रैपिड अटैक. मस्कुलर रिस्पॉन्स इज समथिंग जो प्रतिक्रिया है जिसमें आक्रमण होगा. अग्रेसिव एक्शन, फोर्सफुल स्टैंस, ऑफ कोर्स यूजिंग वेपन्स. जियोपॉलिटिकल डिस्प्यूट्स आर विवाद जो कि भू राजनीतिक है. इट रिलेट्स टू इंटरनेशनल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स एंड बॉर्डर इश्यूज. Zealots are fanatic extremists, कट्टरपंथी हैं. उनका जो बिलीफ है वो उसके लिए मर भी सकते हैं, those doctrines जो फॉलो करते हैं. Muscular का opposite, non-muscular, it is being diplomatic. Now diplomatic doesn't mean you're weak. It's just the way to avoid all the bad things, all the byproducts of war, and diplomatically passive तरीके से handle करना. Narrative is विवरण किसी चीज का, account, perspective of something. तो इंडिया का narrative है, as of now it is like a rising leader. So if actual war takes place, then that's gonna be bad for the image of India. Mobilization is deployments. देखो, mobilization in itself is a very different vocabulary, but here the context was कहाँ किसको तैनात करा जा रहा है, डिप्लॉय करा जा रहा है, कहाँ कौन असेंबल हो रहा है. रिप्रोच इज निंदा, फटकार. टू डिसअप्रूव, क्रिटिसाइज करना, क्रिटिसिज्म, इट्स अ नाउन एंड इट्स रिप्रोच. ओके, tell me. Subject and main verb of the sentence I have marked. Make sure to like and share the session, guys. Okay, anyone? So again, to make you revise, जब भी this phrase align a statement starts with a preposition, आप preposition के part को complete होने देते हो. From demonetization through Swachh Bharat to the lights coming off that also tested the resilience. तो ये तो off from वाला part है. Now it's ending here. There have been many projects. Now sentence starts with there. That means main verb is gonna come first, and then you will find the मेन सब्जेक्ट. मैनी प्रोजेक्ट्स प्लूरल, तो उसके लिए हैव यहाँ पे आया है. मैनी प्रोजेक्ट्स, प्रोजेक्ट्स इज योर the word projects here is your main subject, because of which have is used. Cool. Part of speech of blackouts. It's a noun because whenever you have a preposition, through what? Through blackouts. Okay. Next one. Part of speech of this word. Make sure to like and share the session, guys. This is also a noun. Without their losing morale. Now, please mark something important here. Okay. Now, this is a rule I'm going to explain. Just focus. Okay. Now, okay. Let me show you the whole sentence. That would be better. They can prepare the people for hardships. They can prepare people without their losing morale. अभी एग्जाम में you can get this structure without them losing something. Okay. The rule says if you are using a gerund and there is a pronoun before this gerund, okay, that has to be in possessive form. Here, sound wise, or what you would like to read, that way you can see they can prepare the people for hardships without them losing morale. That sounds, for some reason it sounds better in a mind, it sounds correct in a mind, but it is not. It's a hardcore rule that if a gerund is used, like losing here is a gerund, before that you have to use possessive case without his losing morale, not him losing morale, without my losing morale, not me losing morale. तो उस तरीके से यहाँ पे आपको देखना है. ओके. चलो, नेक्स्ट वन. पार्ट ऑफ स्पीच ऑफ दिस वर्ड. Part of speech of this word. It's an adjective. Okay, very easy to figure out. Part of speech. Highly dangerous escalation. Escalation is noun, dangerous is adjective, and what type, what is the intensity of being dangerous? That is an adverb. So here it is an adverb. Okay. Another rule, and then I will take you to the summary. So you might already know, but let me make you revise. If you repeat an article, okay, and then you use a noun, then and you have some adjectives here, then you're talking about two different people. But in this case, you can see India is the only one we were talking about, and India is a true leader and also a responsible leader, because both the adjectives are for one leader, which is India. We are not repeating our article here. So, just to show you, if I want to make a great question out of it, I will simply add a after it, a true and a responsible leader. Okay, and there becomes a very nice error detection question. So आपको ये अ हटाना पड़ेगा, because it is very clear that we are only talking about a singular leader here. The same who is true is the one who is responsible. तो ये rule को आप हमेशा याद रखोगे. Let's quickly see the summary. So the editorial reflects on India's defense preparedness drills and heightened tensions with Pakistan. We get to see how the tensions are. For the first time in decades, these drills simulate full-scale war conditions, integrating common citizens and critical infra in planning and response. So it includes everyone. The government's past nationwide mobilization deployment, like other things, are cited as precedents. Other things also happened, people got involved and whatnot. While such drills build cohesion and resilience, it makes us strong. Editorial cautions that actual war can be very different. It could harm India's image. Instead, it urges, okay, so editorial is urging for a diplomatic leverage to pressure Pakistan into handing over the terrorists. The drills might be good for psyops, but projecting strength through deter further provocations. So we need to make sure that, better we don't end up in an actual war state. Tone of this passage was strategic, cautionary, and realist. Everything that was mentioned here, it was something that is very much happening around. Caution, बहुत बार दिया है. Strategic, this is not simple information. This is building up a strategy, what to do, what not to do, preparedness drills and all. So इसलिए टोन ये है यहाँ पे. टोन के क्वेश्चंस डायरेक्ट एग्जाम में भी आते हैं, so थोड़ा सा आप ध्यान रखो whenever I teach you this. Okay, so you can relate. First question. Answer to this one is B. According to editorial, the implicit, clear, not clear, but the hidden strategic purpose behind the drills, it is to create psychological pressure on Pakistan. This was very clear. In fact, just now, जो आपने देखा in the summary, this was like an open book answer. It is an indirect strategy. Explicit means direct. इसका opposite. Next one. It would be great if you can like and share the session, guys. It would encourage me. Answer to this one is C. What does the editorial imply suggest by drawing a comparison between Pahalgam and 9/11? 9/11 और इन दोनों में common क्या था? Both events triggered war-like mobilization. That means deployments जो तैनात करे हैं. Okay? I know, but still it's my job to keep encouraging you guys to do it. So C is the answer. Move on to the next question. What risk does the editorial associate with a muscular response against elitism? It could legitimize fringe groups, उनके बारे में तो लिखा ही नहीं है कि वो लोग क्या करेंगे. It could weaken India's democratic institutions, not mention it may provoke a full-scale retaliation. Yes, it's written that at that point of time, 9/11 wale time, Afghanistan didn't retaliate, but here there is a chance of retaliation which can be ugly. So, fourth one now. Answer is C again. What role did past events like these play in shaping civil defense strategy? They familiarize citizens with national mission mode action. The exact vocabulary is also mentioned in the passage. I don't need to explain further, I believe. Next one. What does the editorial suggest is the most appropriate course of action? Diplomatic persuasion. He has clearly mentioned towards the end, even in the summary we read, to surrender terror leaders. So, to persuade Pakistan in a diplomatic manner and that it would give up so that we don't have to go for actual war like thing. Error detection, first question on your screen. No one? Okay, this is a very tricky one. The government has not bugged at national war-like mobilization. हिचकिचाई नहीं है government war-like mobilization से. That incorporate mobilization से तो incorporate civilian drills at peak. यहाँ पे incorporate word first form है. Here we get the same. To embed psychological readiness across cross sections of society in general. If you say the society, it would mean I'm talking about a specific one, but this is not, it is a general sentence, it is not a specific society. So the काम का नहीं है यहाँ पे. We have to remove article the. D is your answer. Next. Okay. Another article related error, the editorial equates the terrorist strike in Pahalgam not with the scale but with the similar symbolic weight it carried in the galvanizing national response. So answer यहाँ पे C है. With the similar, with a similar. See here, I don't need to specify, no? It is not a point, it is not a place where I need to use a specific symbolic weight. It is not the only one. तो हम जो बोलना चाह रहे हैं यहाँ पर इट इज दैट इट इज नॉट विद द स्केल बट एक सिमिलैरिटी है ओके देयर इज अ लाइकलीनेस एंड दैट्स व्हाई अ आर्टिकल शुड कम नॉट द article errors are the hardest sometimes, you know. It's not just about and mango. That's what you're gonna get in exam, that you will correct it to a mango. Okay, it's gonna be a little difficult of course from this one. Okay. So for this one, answer is A. India's civil defense strategy must not override what, the need for what, negotiations, especially if a retaliation comprises the country's global image. Comprise के साथ off नहीं लगता है. Okay, please remember that. Yeah, answer was fourth one. Okay. This one is very interesting. When the drills may reinforce, so while the drills may reinforce civic preparedness and resilience during what? During conflict-like condition. इतना सही है. The risk of actual escalation risk remains neither trivial. Trivial is adjective. इसके साथ में जब nor लगाएंगे with neither, we want another adjective. So neither trivial nor fully prevented नहीं आएगा. Prevented is something already prevent करा जा चुका. So we don't need word third form as adjective. We do have a perfectly working word. This is preventable, होने योग्य. Okay. So this remains something that is neither small thing, neither trivial nor preventable. So the right use of word was missing. The right form of word was missing. Last question. This is super simple. The editorial notes that the Pakistani media exposed, unwittingly exposed, its own state's complicity. See, its own तो सही है. State complicity कौन सा compound noun है? It gives you any meaning? No. उसके खुद की स्थिति, state की complicity. So we want apostrophe over here. States apostrophe. States complicity in the attacks by Kasab's roots and thereby और उसके साथ ही साथ inviting scrutiny, international scrutiny. So here apostrophe s was missing and these two words together they didn't make any sense. You can get a compound noun sometimes, but it should make some sense, right? So वो missing था. There we go. That's it. Thank you so much. I'm gonna catch you guys tomorrow. 1:30 p.m. The class will be on our other channel, IBPS Hub, CGB IBPS Hub, and then 8 p.m. back to this channel where we will do another editorial. Okay. Thank you.